What do you think about Strive? Strive's kind of interesting. Strive is like the reverse of MVCI in a way. So in MVCI, right? Um, the presentation was pretty bad. Characters look pretty bland. Character selection is pretty bland. The game is pretty bland overall, right? And the presentation aspect, especially coming from a franchise like Marvel vs. Capcom, which has a lot of presentation in it. That's why the game kind of failed, right? But for Guilty Gear, it's kind of interesting, or for Strive, is that the presentation is pretty good overall, but the the gameplay kind of suffers, in my opinion. Um, the game just is very boring overall compared to like MSCI where the presentation sucked, but the gameplay had a lot of freedom and it was pretty fun. Guilty Gear, the presentation is good, but the the gameplay is just very boring. It's very limited, which is like kind of strange because like they had Exert pretty good overall, right? It's very different. All the Guilty Gears are very different from each other, but they all maintain some level of like fun and creativity. Even though Exert is technically easier than the other Guilty Gears, right? Because all the Guilty Gears are pretty difficult, but Exert had enough difficulty in it, and it was still fun. But Strive, on the other hand, feels like it kind of steps away from a lot of the aspects that make Guilty Gear fun. So I'm not happy with Strive right now, and honestly, I feel like they should make the game, or they should delay the game. I think because I don't think it's ready. I think there's a lot of issue with the game outside of the lobby system being garbage. The beta was pretty bad, but I think gameplay wise, they need to fix a bunch of stuff to make the game more fun. Because I could see people getting, or people like understanding the game in like a couple months, like 6 months. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it. For an example, right? So somebody posted a soul combo from Extra, right? Soul Dust Loop, and he doesn't really have that, or he doesn't have a wild throw. He did wild throw, Soul Dust Loop. It was a video on Exert. So I took that video, right, and I showed it in comparison to Strive Soul doing wild throw to a bunch of people that don't play fighting games like that. It's like, which one do you want to play? Do you want to play Exert or do you want to play this game Strive? And all of them, that's like 5 people. All of them said they much rather play Exert because it just looks more fun, right? It looks more complicated. It looks like it's more enjoyable to hit the combo instead of just getting the raw damage. All right, so which is like the whole aspect of Strive is to make the game more appealing to people that don't play fighting games. That's like what they've been trying to accomplish for a couple of years now. For Arc Sys, is like they want to make more people get into fighting games, but like they don't understand what makes fighting games enjoyable. It's not the game being so simple that anybody can play, right? It's that it has complicated stuff. That's what makes the game fun, I think. And they just don't seem to understand that aspect. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like they're doing all these things to try to get people to play fighting games, but in reality, it seems like it's drawing a lot of people away. So hopefully they delay the game a little bit. 'Cause I think they should. I don't think the game is ready, and people clearly don't like the game, or they're holding back their real opinion because they want to see what they're gonna do to it at the end because it's still beta. But yeah, I think they should delay the game a little bit. I don't think it's polished enough. I don't think the game is fun enough, and obviously the lobby system is very very bad. Um, Talking about the lobby system a little bit, it's like the way. First of all, it doesn't look very Guilty Gear, right? It's very strange. But the way you connect to people to play a game is awful. It's like the worst lobby system they could come up with. I think it's easily the worst one so far. Like I don't like Granblues that much, but it's nowhere near as bad as that one. That one is really bad. I don't know why they keep trying to reinvent the wheel with their lobby system when in Exert, right, in Rev 2, it was perfect. It was literally a perfect lobby system. But they just keep trying to reinvent the wheel for some odd reason, and it's just like it looks awful. It looks awful and it doesn't play well. Yeah, the Strive is kind of a mess right now. I don't like the game. I know some people think there's some good things about it. I think so too. But overall, they need to really assess a lot of stuff. If they're not going to delay the game, they need to really make a lot of changes if they want people on board with that game. But yeah, we'll see what happens.